All right, we're recording. Hi, guys. I am going to, I need to turn off my, oh, I can't. Whoops. Okay. Well, here we go. I can't mute my computer there. Okay, so we're recording. So here we are. All right, so this is our recruiting Q&A. And I really appreciate all of you guys who sent in your questions. I know a lot of people have questions about this process, and I think it's because it's one that is hard. It's not a natural thing for a lot of us. And I think a lot of that just is a mindset issue. And so that's why I thought it'd be nice to just do a Q&A instead of having fancy slides this time. So I wanted to start, let me get my notes out. First of all, I wanted to start, I'm wearing my our convention shirt, the Liberty, it says with literacy and liberty for all. And I think that that is such a huge part of our mission as book ladies in general, but in particular as freedom leaders, because we really are all about, we want everybody to have this opportunity, right? I mean, we're all here, which means we took the chance. And so how selfish would it be to not offer it to everybody? So that's why I'm wearing my convention shirt. Also because convention is awesome. You should all come because it's the best. And to help you guys really, just it helps me to remember it is for all. It's not some closely guarded secret that we're not allowing other people to have. Okay, just as a reminder, if you guys tune in, just remember to mute yourselves. Okay, so I wanted to start out, for those of you who are a little bit newer, by telling you my story, because it might help you guys think about somebody who's similar to you, or that you're thinking of. I'm sorry, and I'm going to be drinking water a lot because I've just been sick and I have no voice. So I hope it can make it through the next half hour. So my story is that I first learned about Usborne books and more when my oldest, who's now 10, was when I was pregnant with her. I went to my first party, bought a couple of books, and then she asked me to host. It was home parties back then. And I hosted after my daughter was like 3 months old or something like that. And I periodically, I bought and hosted from her for years. And then 2 years ago, so I'd been buying the books for 8 years. So I guess not quite 2 years ago, but like a year and a half ago, I went to a party that a friend of mine was hosting a Facebook party. And I kind of felt like I was cheating on my book lady, but she'd done one Facebook party. It was okay, but it wasn't great. She hadn't been contacting me in a while. And so I thought maybe she was kind of done. So I was like, well, I need books for Christmas, so I might as well do it. And Kristen, our lovely Kristen, was the one who was doing the party. And it was totally different and amazing and new. And I thought it was great. And I was the guest that everybody wants to have, that I commented on everything. I even shared like my favorites and tips and tricks and things and stuff like that. And like, I'm sure she was probably like, oh my gosh, I need this girl. And I didn't want to join at all. Like I had a huge collection already. We even lived abroad, and I bought Usborne books, in German when we lived in Switzerland, and in English in our expat bookstore. Like I was the golden recruit, you guys, and I didn't want to do it. And I did host though. And she did her 3, Kristen did a really good job with her 3 asks. And she's like, these books already so well. Why don't you just make a commission off them? I was like, I'm too busy. But then, so I said no, and I hosted. It was great. I got my free books. Yay, Christmas. And then January happened, and I was examining my goals, and I felt like I needed something, and couldn't really figure out what it was. And then February came around, and in anticipation of the kit special, Kristen contacted me. She says, oh my gosh, this kit special is coming. It's gonna be only $40. And why would you not do this? And then I was like, yeah, why would I not do this? And so I was really in it, because I was like, $40, that's nothing. I can totally buy 5 books for $40. And also I was like, I can do a launch party and get more books. And then, I'm buying these books. I've been buying these books for 8 years already. Why not just get a discount? But that thing had to change. I bought these books for 8 years, you guys. 8.5 years. And it wasn't until something changed that I needed that I was ready to join. And so have your list of recruits, have a whole, like someone, I don't remember who it was it Britton Sanders talking about having a whole notebook of recruits and their information. If you have the really cute UBAM planner, use it. There's a recruiting contacts thing in the back. Don't ever be like, oh, I already asked her 3 times and whatever. Things change. In fact, I had a girl who, she was in a party that I did right before Christmas. And I just saw last week that she joined, not with me. I'd kind of given up on her. I wasn't asking anymore. So just because they say no now doesn't mean they're not going to say yes later. I want you to think about the things that we're offering. Remember, it's literacy and liberty for all, right? Here we are. It's not a very flattering way to show this shirt. But anyway, literacy and liberty for all. What are we offering them? We're offering them books. Like literally they could not do anything else and they're getting books for a really good deal. Okay. So they're getting money out of it. They might need some Christmas cash, right? Like coming up. That's something to talk about. We have that graphic that we shared with, if you join in September, you can make this much before Christmas. People are starting to think about that. They may just want some mad money. It may not be either of those things. It might be that they're isolated at home and they want someone to connect with. They need some friends. A lot of people stick with this company because of the connections that they've made. Like they join for the books, they realize the friendships that they make, and that's why they stay, is because of the connections that they're making. It's huge. These friendships are major, and we, especially in leadership, have helped each other through really big things. And like you don't see that in a lot of other places. And maybe they might have a brand new career in life, maybe, right? But at least we're offering them books and an earning potential for some mad money. What are we not doing? We are not asking anyone to completely change their lifestyle. We're not selling like a completely new, like change all of your cleaning products to this natural product or something like that. We're not asking them to change anything, right? We're asking them to host a launch party and maybe fit in some time for follow-ups and moving forward, right? We're not asking a lot of them. We're not being slimy or dishonest. We're not saying like, we're not holding back any weird hidden costs, right? Like literally this business is incredible. This company is incredible that they're literally the only fee that they have is an $8 a month website fee if they choose to renew it. There is no other company that I know of that will do that. Usually it's like you have to meet these minimums and then, pay an annual fee to stay a member or whatever. Like we're not trying to hold anything back. We're not trying to like con them into anything. This is not a dishonest business, right? And also we're not asking them to do anything that we haven't already done. I want you to think about that for a second. You already joined. So what's so bad about joining? Think about that. So here are some of the questions that people asked on that note. So someone was asking about wording. Oh, actually, we had a few people ask about wording. The first thing I would ask you to do is to go into Unit 3.2. Some of you guys are probably so new that you're still working in Unit 2 and you didn't know that 3.2 existed. That's totally fine. There are some great documents. There's information about wording. There's information about how to close. Someone asked about closing. Basically, I would say go to Unit 3.2, read it through, and then if you have other questions, send screenshots to your team leader. That's kind of your basic way to go. And there's great wording in that unit that you can even copy and paste if you need to. And if you're a little bit unsure, your team leader can help you. You're not alone in this at all. We definitely are here to help you with this. So use the unit and use your team leader, and we can talk about it. The specific question that someone had was people that I haven't talked to in forever. How do you like bring it up if you like maybe mentioned it a while back or something like that? What I do is I establish the connection first. In the unit, it talks about how we're farmers, we're not hunters. We are sowing seeds and we're going to reap that later. So we need to have patience and we need to cultivate that relationship. So we might have someone who is like kind of not right now or whatever. Continue to comment on their posts on Facebook, friend them, first of all, be their friend. Sorry, my husband's calling me. cultivate that relationship. Show them that you're not just interested in them being on your team. Like I said, one of the greatest things about this business is the friendships that we make. I don't feel like Kristen's like underling slash, sorry, I'm muting some people. I don't feel like a cog in her organization. She is my friend. She is literally one of my best friends in the world because of this business, because we work together and we get to talk every day. And she lives in Arizona and I live in Florida. I don't know anywhere else that really allows us to do that. I didn't know her before the party, by the way. Like literally our whole friendship is because of UBAM. And so be their friend. Be their friend. Show them that you're not just interested in them as your recruit. Sometimes if it's someone I don't really have a close relationship, just be like, hey, I was thinking about you the other day, or I was just thinking about you is like my super orange thing that I say all the time to people. I was just thinking about you. I saw so-and-so just talk about, like, go stalk them, their profile, be informed about what they're doing right now in their life, and then come back and say, I saw that, school just started. How's it going? All this stuff. Cultivate the relationship. You don't have to start with like, hey, want to join my team? The relationship is important. So again, go to unit 3.2 and then go to your team leader. You can practice the wording with her. How do I bring it up again if they've already said no? That was one that a lot of people asked. The 3 asks that we have in unit 2 are really great. I like the wording about it, especially the 3rd ask that's like, you're probably going to roll your eyes at me, that one. I really like that one because it's disarming and we're not being confrontational. So sometimes just having, oh my gosh, the white noise machine is on. I just noticed that. Hold on just a second. Sorry, I feel like I have white noise on all the time in my life, and I did. So I'm really sorry about that. You guys are probably like, what is that humming in the background? Okay, so how do you bring it up again? Like smiley faces and winky faces and things like that cover a multitude of sins. I love the you might roll your eyes at me. I have one girl that I'm still working on who she like made some amazing comments in my VIP group, and she seemed really interested, but she had some things like at work she needed to work through. And I was just like, oh my gosh, like your comments on like this post or whatever are amazing. So how much longer do I have to wait to have you on my team? Like, and winky face, just like be friendly, joke with them a little bit. Don't be so uptight about, I need to recruit. Because that is obviously going to change the tone of the conversation. And in fact, let's talk about that a little bit. We talked about what we're not offering. We're not offering anything slimy or gross. Think about your mindset when you're asking people, because that is going to come through with your, when you're talking to them. Someone asked, what do I do about people who won't get past hesitations or keep thinking of more? In the book, GoPro, which I highly recommend all of you to read. It's not very long. You can get it on your Kindle for like very little money. In fact, I think it was free for a while. Read it. In it, he talks about how almost every recruiting hesitation boils down to one of 2 things: their limited belief in themselves and whether they can do this and actually make money at it, or their limited belief in network marketing, period. Now the second one is obviously harder to get over sometimes, but when you show them how different we are from the run-of-the-mill network marketing company, and how our compensation structure is different, and our we are so different. I don't know how many of you have been involved with other network marketing companies in the past. I tried and failed it too, and I also worked in a publishing company where we like produced a lot of the business and like scientific materials about why this juice cures cancer and stuff like that. I read every single pamphlet these network marketing companies put out, including their compensation structures and things like that. And I'll just tell you guys, we are miles away from the crowd in what we're doing. So if people have a bad experience with network marketing, rather than just be like, okay, you can use that to your advantage and show how we're different. If they have a limited belief in themselves, then talking about the no minimums and there's not pressure to sell a certain amount and how they can make their kit back within their first, buy the mini kit, and then you only have to have a $300 party in your launch to make that money back. Plus, if you have a $300 launch party, then with the double books, you just earned $100 in free books. So you're already ahead. When you start putting it that way and you tell them about the Wildest rewards and all the opportunities they have to get all these things, and then how easy it is, like they can get to XK1, that first 1,000 is only 3 or 4 parties. If we're doing it right, then they can start believing in themselves and that they could do this. And if they, like, when people say I'm not a salesperson, I'm like, great, neither am I, and that really puts them off guard. Well, someone asked, I have all of my party people are a no. First of all, send all of those no's to your team leader, because I bet not all of them actually are no's. And family and friends aren't interested enough to even host. I will tell you, my family has never hosted a party for me, ever. No one. So and I'm a senior executive. So just because your family doesn't want to help you does not mean anything at all. And sometimes friends are a little bit distrustful of these things, maybe because they've been exposed to too many of them. Just keep trying those people. And I would say party people, start there. Start with those no's from your party guests and send them to your team leader and see if they really are no's, or if it's a hesitation that you can work through with your team leader and unit 3.2. Sorry. Someone said, I haven't found the right people yet. And that's true. You may not have. But we keep trying. We just keep offering it to everybody. And someone else said, I'll get there too. Never mind. I'll get there later. But we offer it to everybody because we never know who is going to need it. We never know who's going to want it and love it. Are the people that were like, oh my gosh, she'd be the perfect one, may not do anything with it. I've had lots of recruits like that I'm like, oh my gosh, she's incredible. She's got this really compelling why or whatever. And then she has like a $200 launch and that's all she does. So we can't judge how they're going to do. We just offer it to everybody and do our best, and we lead them through and let our team leader help, walk them through, try to get them success bound and see what they do with it. But recruiting is not so much like strategically picking people. Recruiting is just asking everybody, speaking into hesitations, and then letting them join and then working with them from there. Excuse me. Someone asked, do I have to ask my hostess 3 times? I feel pushy since she already said no. And I love this question because yes, you do have to ask 3 times. There we go. Easy peasy. It's in the script. You're, like I said before, I know you're going to roll your eyes at me is very disarming. Like I said, Kristen asked me 3 times and it still took me 2 months and a kit special to join. Sometimes we need to be asked more than once. I don't know. So someone then also asked, I asked my consultant to join. I'm the one who asked to join. Why isn't it that easy for me? Some people will ask us to join, and that's awesome. And a lot of us won't. Sometimes people, I don't know how many of you guys have seen Hitch? It's one of my favorite movies, believe it or not. I love that movie. Will Smith is the love doctor, and he puts people together. The date doctor, that's what they call him. One of my favorite movies. I should probably have it right. Sorry. And he gets found out at a speed dating event, and he gets accused of tricking women, and then he interrupts and says, into getting out of their own way, so that great guys and now I'm blanking on his name because I've been sick for a week, Albert Brenneman can get in there. And that's exactly what we're doing. We're not tricking anyone, but we're helping them get out of their own way by answering those hesitations. So if you guys think about that, just remember Hitch. And remember that sometimes we need to help people get out of their own way. And Kristen, I don't know if she's on right now, but she can attest to how many times she has gotten me out of my own way. Do you want to join? No. Get out of my own way. Do you want to promote? No. Get out of my own way. Seriously, guys. Sometimes we are stubborn and we need help getting out of our own way. So yes, ask your hostess 3 times. Don't feel pushy. Use different ways to ask. Ask your team leader for some like funny, disarming ways to introduce it, and keep asking. Amy, I asked 3 different consultants over 2 years about what it took to join. None of them followed up with me after giving them the initial, you earn 25% in free books when you join speech. My sponsor asked me 3 times while I hosted, and I said yes 2 hours before my party. Brittany Murdoch is another example of someone who was not at all going to join. She was like, what, 7 months pregnant, Brittany, were you? And had a real estate business before, or with her husband. And she's like, no, I'm never going to join. I just want the books. She joined during her party. And now she's a senior team leader. And Amy's almost there. So there's a really great video about why we recruit from one of the senior directors, about how she went to a home party and like sat on the floor in front of the books the whole time and asked repeatedly what it took to join, or like, how do you do this? Like, she asked all the questions, and the consultant, maybe she was afraid, who knows? So maybe she was afraid, maybe whatever it was. But she never asked her if she wanted to join. So she joined on the website and then got assigned someone to be her sponsor. Like that team leader who got assigned this senior director as a sponsor, I bet she's pretty glad. But what a missed opportunity. And this woman she talks, it's a very powerful video. I'll post the link, or someone else, maybe one of the leaders can beat me to it. I love that video, guys, because what we have is amazing. And we're being selfish if we're not offering it. And yes, it can feel uncomfortable to do it. But if we remember, we already joined, we're already doing it. And presumably we're already enjoying it, right? We shouldn't feel slimy about doing it. Rachel said she hosted 2 parties without joining and joined minutes before her 3rd party. So you have an example of 4 different leaders, including me, plus this senior director who like didn't want to join and then finally got out of their own way. So just remember, like, sometimes people really do need that time to like think about it and get out of their way. Let's see. Someone asked about how to close. That is in the units. I'm going to direct you there. Basically, I will sum it up in saying that you don't finish a conversation with somebody without, number 1, this is also from GoPro, without number 1, making an appointment for next time, or number 2, like asking them to join. So always end in a direct question. Say, there's really great ones. I don't want to go into too much detail because it's all in the unit, but basically, like, if I send you this amazing FAQ video, I literally just did this yesterday. Okay. If I send you this FAQ video with one of our amazing senior directors, if I check in with you, I'm going to send you this video. If I check in with you tomorrow night, will you have time to sit down with your husband and watch it and write down any questions that you or he have? I love asking that question. And I followed up with her. She's joining next week when she gets paid. So that doesn't always happen, obviously, but always make an appointment or ask them to join. Never end with, okay, just let me know. Never say, let me know, ever, guys, ever, 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 ever. Always ask a direct question, period. Whether you're recommending books, whether you're asking them to host or asking them to join, always ask a direct question. Never say, let me know. That just invites the conversation to shrivel and die. Always ask a direct question. Okay, wording help. Go to the units. Someone said, how do I believe it'll get better? And I really like that question. So thank you for being brave and asking it. All of us have dry spells, and we just have to keep having faith that it's going to get better. I know for a lot of us who have big goals, like we want to get SK2 or HOC2, or we want to promote and we need a certain number of recruits, we feel that pressure And that kind of drives the why out of our head. And we start thinking, I need to recruit, I need to recruit, I need to recruit, I need to recruit. And then it starts to become pushy. And I think that's probably why a lot of us start to feel slimy about it, because we've had so many experiences with yucky salespeople or whatever it is, sorry, my husband, just a minute. Like I said, he gets home really late on Wednesdays. So he's on his way home and asked me a question about something he needed to pick up at the grocery store. Okay. Anyway, I forgot what I was saying. I'm sorry. Oh, how do I know it's going to get better? Like I said, we are farmers. We are not hunters. So like keep those people in your notebook and circle back to them every once in a while. And just really, have faith and keep rocking your parties. I think, people are most likely to join when they're in a party, and you'll find this all in the units as well, in unit 3.2 as well. So be awesome in your parties, be fun, be excited, be exciting, because if you're really boring, no one wants to be on your team. So if you're afraid of going live, for no other reason than just to get in front of people's faces and help you get some recruits so you can promote, go live, be excited, show them that this is doable. If you have kids screaming in the background, it's real. They see that they can do it too. So, so just keep working, keep trying, and keep following the units, keep asking your team leader. I will be very honest with you and say that I I'd been in kind of a recruiting slump myself. Not just getting recruits, but recruits who wanted to work, which is the next question I want to end with. I was kind of starting to feel that desperation, and I think it was contributing to my results, because I was probably not coming off as friendly and as genuinely wanting to share the opportunity, more as like, I need to recruit, I need to recruit, I need to recruit. So it's hard, and I totally understand, because I've been there. I am never, well, maybe someday I'll be one of the like Rachel Hare, who's always on the recruiting leaderboards, or I'll get to walk the stage for recruiting. Who knows? But I can tell you, as someone who, I work very hard to recruit consistently, and it's paying off. I mean, I'm a senior executive, so I've got to be doing something right? I'm here to tell you that I'm a human, and that I have dry spells too, and you just have to keep working on it. And I have like 4 or 5 potentials all clustered at once. And I think sometimes that's what happens, is we get on a roll, like our mojo comes back, and we'll get like a cluster of awesomeness, and then we'll have a little bit of a lull and another cluster of awesomeness. And I don't know why that is, but right now I'm just like really excited about what's happening right now. And I'm trying to don't get too down on yourself about what happened last month, because every month is a new month. And you have opportunities you always have opportunities to share, as long as you're partying consistently. Let's see, I've got 7 minutes. Okay. So the last thing that I wanted to answer, someone said, none of the people that I recruited did anything with it. What should I do? This is a great question. There is a reason that the people who walk the stage for recruiting at convention, it's not just like, I signed up 700 people. It's how the recruiting award goes to getting them success bound. How many success bound recruits? The reason why is because anyone can pay $75 for a box of books, but it takes an actual coach to help them get to success bound. I mean, to get through those 3 or 4 parties, that's a lot. Some of the directors and senior directors have done anecdotal studies kind of, and looked at percentages. And it's usually about, for every 5 people who join, you'll get 1 rock star. So think about that. That's about the percentage. So if you've recruited 5 people and one of them has gotten success bound, you're about right. It may be a little more, it may be a little less. But the point is to just keep offering it to everybody. And even the senior directors have percentages roughly that. So you're not doing anything wrong. It's like the person who asked, have I found the right people? You may not have found your rock star yet. And that is totally fine. It's totally fine. If you're in promotion, get her to help you with a book drive. And, of the 3 people who got Success Bound for me to promote, none of them are still working. And that's okay. They did their parties. They got Success Bound. All 3 of them kept working afterwards for a little while. But, we just keep recruiting. There's a reason why all of the like trip points and awards and everything like that and this is another thing that sets us apart from other direct sales companies. The reason why the awards are for like personal continuing your business is so that you stay in it. You don't like set up your business and then like just let it go. The most senior director is still partying every week and recruiting from those parties, the same as the person who started yesterday. And that is the thing that I love about this business, because all of us are in it together. There's obviously those of us who have been here longer have a few more tricks up our sleeves, but we're not any more like set up than you are. So don't think that, there's some secret that they're withholding or anything like that. Or, it's just, we've been doing it more. We have more ideas about things that we can say because we know what's worked and what hasn't, because we've done a lot of trial and error. And I say I've only been in this company for like just over a year and a half. So, we have ladies who've been around for 15, 20 years and they are partying and recruiting same as you. So, and they have to look for their rock stars same as you. So don't give up and stay happy and excited. Remember, we have an amazing product. We have an amazing opportunity to earn anything from mad money to a full-time income, really in the fringes of our daily life. And the flexibility that it offers is incredible. There is nowhere else that someone could say, I need money for Christmas, sign up right now, and not have to go into work for 20 hours a week. There's nowhere else that they can do that. Like, this is a brilliant opportunity for them. And it's a great opportunity for you. Someone asked me, sorry, I didn't write this down actually. Did I? Sorry, last thing. Someone said, what is in it for me if they recruit, or if a recruit joins? As a brand new recruit, like a brand new consultant, you get $25 in free books for every recruit you sign up. So that's at the baseline. What's in it for you? And your team leader does the training. You get to watch, so that, because if you decide to promote, your recruits help you get there. And I don't want to go into too much detail about that. That's another conversation. But that's what's in it for you, is you get $25 in free books. But also you get some awesome friendships. You get opportunities to work with people that you wouldn't have otherwise. And you get just these cool connections. And when you do promote to team leader, should you decide to, you get 8.5% of everything that they earn, which is pretty awesome. Like, anything that they make, you get 8.5%. So that pay raise is pretty sweet. But as the brand newest recruit ever, you get $25 in free books. And you might be offering someone a lifetime of amazingness. You have no idea. So don't feel icky about it. Remember that sometimes we need to get people out of their own way, and that you may hold in your hands the opportunity for them to change their lives. We have no idea. So don't be selfish and so worried about yourself and how you're coming off that you're withholding this amazing blessing from them. And that's what I've got. So hopefully this is helpful. And it's recording, so I'll convert it and put it on YouTube so you guys can share it tomorrow. But yeah, go out and share this with the world, you guys. Remember, liberty and literacy for all.